Hey guys, this special episode of Pulp Secret at Comic-Con is brought to you by Death Race, starring Jason Statham. Check it out in theaters August 22nd.
Hey guys, Alex Albin here, and I'm talking with Valerie D'Orazio. Thanks so much for taking the time to chat. So you, right now, are well known as a blogger for the Occasional Superhero.
Yes.
And the president of Friends of Lulu.
Yes.
But what we're going to be talking about today a little bit is just announced at a panel, Women in Marvel and Marvel, Cloak Dagger.
Yes, yeah, I'm very excited. This is Cloak and Dagger's like I can't believe I'm writing it. I'm just really excited.
Yeah. Well, what drew you to the character? How did it come together?
Well, I mean, I really enjoyed the book from the 80s. It's like a cult favorite, and I felt that they're really visually stunning characters, and also they had a very complex relationship, and I really want to explore that.
So what is the take on the characters? What's your mission statement, your idea of them?
I think they've had a very complex, unresolved relationship, and I feel I want to take them and their relationship to the next level. So that's a lot of it. Yeah.
What do you mean by the next level? Whatever you, without spoiling anything.
Right. Well, I mean, they kind of have, I think there's maybe like a commitment issue with them. And also, like, I think like an unwillingness maybe to change issue with them. And I think, you know, they're kind of, the relationship has come to a head. And it's like, now it's time to just sort of like, you know, put your money where your mouth is and decide what are you going to do with this relationship.
Another thing about the characters is I think a lot of people look at them and think they're stuck in the 80s. You know,
Right.
just you look at the costumes, Dagger's costume in particular.
Yeah.
Is that something you're looking to change, or will that stay the same and you work on other aspects of the characters?
I think both. You know, I mean, I definitely love that sort of 80s vibe, and I think, you know, I may play around with a little bit with it, but I definitely want to keep that, but also I want to take it, you know, into the new millennia, so to speak.
And do you have an artist on it yet?
I do. Her name is Irene Flores, and she's done work for Tokyo Pop, and she has a very pretty, I guess you'd call it a manga style.
Okay.
Yeah.
For those people who hear manga and are like, eee,
Right.
what's to draw them into the series, art-wise or writing-wise?
Well, it wasn't, I didn't pick her art because it was manga style. It just seemed to, we worked on some sketches, she was recommended to me by a peer, and it just organically worked. And I thought it doesn't matter if it's manga styled or not, it works with these characters and their relationship. And so I would just say, give it a, you know, if you like manga, read it, give it a chance. If you don't like manga, I would say still give it a chance, because it's not a manga, it's just a style of art that works really well.
I think there's a lot of love beyond the fans and writers for Cloak and Dagger. Certainly they've been used in a lot of different series recently. How much will this tie into the continuity of the Marvel Universe, or is it going to be its own thing?
I think for now, in this miniseries, it will kind of be its own thing, but that by the time it's over, it can perfectly lead into like further, like, you know, adventures. You know, they can still run into the Runaways, for example, and stuff like that. We're just sort of changing the status quo a little bit. I guess, I mean, a lot of people are sort of, I mean, there's a lot of hardcore fans for Cloak and Dagger, and I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is, I mean, I have a love for those characters, and they're definitely, you know, going to be in the book, and I love them, but I'm also kind of, I know this, I'm taking them to the next level. So.
Give us one little tease, if you can, that'll make people definitely pick up this book.
The brighter the light, the darker the shadow, and if two's company is three a crowd.
Oh, I like it.
All
right.
You're familiar with the death race. The drivers are convicts and the rules are simple.
It's kill or be killed. I can see the appeal.
Win and get your freedom.
Let's play a little offense. You're out in front. Who are you going to shoot at? Hold tight. I love this game. You can burn me, you can shoot me, but you can't kill me!
Rated R starts August 22nd.
Hey guys, Alex Albin here, and we're talking with Marc Andreyko. Thanks so much for joining us. Sure. So let's talk about Manhunter. Manhunter coming back yet again. There's an incredible fan base for this book. Why do you think that is?
If I knew, I would bottle it and take it to every project I do. I really don't know. I think it might be just because I love the book so much. I write from a place of passion that hopefully that rubs off on the readers. I've had a bunch of people say that it's the Marvel comic that DC publishes.
and it certainly hit the ground running with the first arc.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, well, the edict that I was given from editorial was they would like me to explore issues. And I didn't want to do the issue of the week. I didn't want it to be a very special episode of Manhunter. But I did want to explore some issues that would resonate with Kate as a character and that would, make people in the real world research real issues. And that's the point, because it's a fine line doing issues, because you don't want to cheapen them or lessen the impact of these real world issues, but I also want to give people knowledge to work with. And it's not going to be, I don't have the answers. There's not going to be, and there's one to grow on at the end of this issue. It's exploring issues that interest me and I don't have answers for.
Well, and certainly you can almost say that everything that happens in Manhunter, sort of the operative phrase is nothing is easy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, when I first started writing Manhunter, I made an effort to not write a female character, but a character who happens to be a woman. And I try and think of how would I react in a world if there were superheroes.
Let's actually talk about one of the minor characters a little bit. Obsidian, being a supporting cast member. We get a question reading on the show. We get a question a lot about how people deal with minority or gay characters or something like that. And I think, what was the approach in bringing Obsidian to the cast?
Well, since the book takes place in Los Angeles, I wanted to have a gay character in the book, and I wanted to have a gay superhero character. I didn't want a gay villain because that's been done. So for me, I wanted to put a gay character in a book that wasn't getting bashed, that didn't have AIDS, that wasn't a transvestite, because that's a small part of the gay world. When you see the gay pride parade on the news, that represents probably 3%. I'm just a boring average gay guy. Obsidian and his boyfriend are me if I was better looking and had superpowers and a lot of money. And they're going to remain a happy, solid couple. And I'm hopefully going to try and let them get married since it's legal now.
So is that the next arc, or is that a future arc?
That'll always be a subplot sort of thing. The big A storylines are going to be more issues that I want to explore in the context of the DC universe.
Let's move on and talk about the thing that you are doing for Buzz.
I'm doing a book called The Ferryman, and it's the first Dark Castle comic book. Dark Castle is an imprint of horror films, a genre films that Joel Silver does. And I've been friends with one of the executives at Joel's office for a number of years, and they were going to do a comic, and they said, "Are you interested?" I said, "Well, what's the high concept?" And Joel has always been interested in Charon and the River Styx and the concept of ferrying souls, and he wanted to do something like that with a contemporary spin. So I figured, well, the world's population is so big, and if you sell your soul to the devil, the contract has an expiration date. So ferrymen come to take you when the contract is up, and most people who would sell their soul to the devil aren't nice, so there's always hilarity ensues, as they say. And the main character is a guy named Gideon Thorne, who was a cop in the 70s, who was investigating a serial killer case, a serial killer named the Bleeder, who bled victims dry and keeps their blood in mason jars. I don't know where that came from, but I do have dark places in my mind. And he inadvertently gets killed on the job, and the devil makes him a deal. If you come work for me for a while, maybe I'll let you see your wife again, because the Bleeder killed Gideon's wife. So we have an anti-hero working for the devil, and we open the story with him. He's done. It's his last job. He's fulfilled his contract. He wants to leave, and the devil says, "One more." There's always an out clause for the devil in the contract. But it's much more a Joel Silver type of thing. It's much more a die-hard sort of Lethal Weapon than it is monsters and villains and demons and magic and that sort of thing. And the artist on it, by the way, is fantastic. His name's Jonathan Weishak. He comes from advertising, and his stuff is a cross between Sam Keith and Ralph Steadman, and it's just amazing. He's going to be a star, so I put my claws into him and said, "Your next project is with me," because the art's going to sell the book. The art is absolutely stunning. His storytelling is amazing, so remember that name.